Have you ever encountered a bread that is as visually stunning as it is deliciously indulgent? If not, then let me introduce you to the culinary masterpiece that is chocolate babka. Babka, originally a Jewish pastry, is a sweet bread that is known for its rich chocolatey flavor and its distinctive swirl pattern. It's a labor of love, requiring patience and precision to create this perfect loaf. Today, I'm making these signature swirls of chocolate babka with the twist of pandan water and sweet potatoes. When sliced chocolate babka reveals its layer of tender dough and rich chocolate filling with sweet potatoes taste, it's a symphony of flavors and texture that will satisfy your cravings for your family. Ready to bake your own chocolate babka with sweet potato? Let's get started. First step, preparing sweet potatoes. We begin by preparing the sweet potatoes, a key ingredient that adds natural sweetness and moisture to the babka dough. Simply peel and chop 120 grams of sweet potatoes into chunks and boil them until soft. You can also choose to steam it if you don't boil. After cooking your sweet potatoes until they are soft and tender, it's time to mash them. You can use a fork for the simple step. Continue mashing until the sweet potatoes are smooth and free of large lumps. A fork works great for this as it gives you control over the texture. Once it's done, set it aside and cool down. If you are new here, please subscribe my channels and click on the notification bell so that you won't miss out any upcoming recipes. Next step, let's mix together the dry ingredients. First ingredient is 30 grams of milk powder, 15 grams of superfood red powder. This powder contains a blend of antioxidant-rich red superfood that provide nutrients for the skin to thrive. You can see the link in the description box below or purchase in any supermarket. This superfood red powder consists of berry powder, beetroot powder, strawberries, and also berries powder. Next ingredient is 30 grams of whole wheat flour. Next ingredient is 500 grams of bread flour, or any strong protein flour which consists of 11 to 13% of protein. (42 grams of caster sugar), last dry ingredient is 12 grams of instant dry yeast. Lightly mix together with a spoon. Set it aside. Now, in a separate large bowl of the stand mixer, add the wet ingredients: 30 grams of plain Greek yogurt, 140 grams of fresh milk, include our 120 grams of cooked and mashed sweet potatoes, to elevate the aroma of sweet potato. We also include 85 grams of pandan water. Basically, I'm using the dry pandan and soak it in some sweet potato hot water. 1 tablespoon of good quality of pandan extract. 1 tablespoon of molasses. The pandan and molasses introduce deep earthy flavor that pair beautifully with sweet potato and chocolate. Crack 2 fresh eggs. Next step, Gradually add the dry ingredients into the wet mixture. Use a stand mixer or knead by hand for about 10 minutes until the doughs come together smoothly. While mixing, why not go to hankery.com/masterclass. If you're feeling inspired to bake your own sourdough bread, we have a fantastic sourdough masterclass that will guide you through every step of this process. From building a strong starter to create perfect sourdough loaves. Whether you are a complete beginner or looking to refine your skills, this course empowers you to bake confidently and enjoy the satisfaction of homemade sourdough bread. Now head back to our bread dough. Once the dough comes together and combine, we will incorporate 40 grams of softened butter. This ensures a soft, fluffy texture, adding richness to our bread dough. Let me tell you a pro tip here. When the dough is ready, it will pull away cleanly from the sides and bottom of the mixing bowl. When the dough is smooth, elastic, and no longer sticks to the bottom of the mixing bowl, that's your cue that it's ready for the next step. It should have a soft, supple texture. Last step to check if your dough is fully ready, perform the window pan test. Stretch a small piece of dough until it forms a thin, translucent sheet. If it doesn't tear, the gluten is well developed. This is exactly what we're looking for. Remove the dough from the bread hook. Round the dough into the ball shape into the mixing bowl. Use a cling film or the warm cloth to cover. Let it rise for 1 to 1.5 hours or until it doubles in size. After the first rise, which is double in size, look at them. Oh wow, that is so much volume. Bunch down the dough and divide into the two portions. This is to degas of the dough. Remove the dough from the mixing bowl on the clean working space. Pro tips here is I always measure the weight of the whole bulk and divide into the two. And these recipes will use the two big loaves. Divide the dough into half and another half. I would like to have a different variations, hence the reason why I divide another half for my second loaf. Roll them into bowl shapes and set it aside for the shaping. Lightly flour the surface and get a rolling pin. Roll each portion of the dough into a large rectangle, approximately around 1/4 inch thick. The larger your rectangle, the more layers you will have in your final loaf. And rolling up. Change the angle to 90 degrees and repeat the same thing. Try to using the rolling pin to flatten it to the long rectangular shapes. Try to flatten evenly as much as you could. Start to roll the dough into the half. Now evenly spread your chocolate or hazelnut filling over the surface of the dough, leaving a small border around the edges. This will prevent the filling from spilling out during rolling. Using a bench scraper or sharp knife, cut the dough into long stripes about 1 inch wide. These stripes will create beautiful twisted patterns in our babka. Yes, and it's a little bit messy, believe me. You will get over it after that. And now is a super messy twisted of all this little dough. Try to twist in one side and one circular motion. Take each dough strips and twist it by holding both ends and turning them in the same directions. This creates a spiral effect, adding texture to the loaf. Once twisted, roll the dough into the end into a log shape. This gives the babka its characteristic layers and intricate swirl design. Once shaped, let the dough rest for another 30 to 45 minutes, allowing it to rise again before baking into the loaf tin. Repeat the same steps for the rest of the dough. You can go back to the previous chapter, roll out the dough to repeat the steps again. And this step is the particular long shapes of the one whole twisted loaf of the babka. It's a little bit easier than the other two equal portions of the loaf. Yes, it's a bit messy, but I feel it's so much fun. Making sure that you twist it at the same time and making sure that your hand will be clean afterwards. Look at these two portions of the twisted loaf. After double size in the volume, this is how it looks like before bake. And this is another variation, which is a one whole long rectangle log shapes, and it looks so gorgeous. Once our loaves are ready to bake, now preheat the oven to 180 Celsius for 10 minutes. While doing so, brush some milk on top of the surface of the loaf before bake. This is to prevent some drying on the surface of the loaf. Use the pastry brush to brush over the tricky space in between. Don't worry, there's a chocolate in there. It won't really dry out easily for the bread. Now bake our babka at 175 Celsius for 35 to 40 minutes until golden brown and cooked through. You will know it's ready when it looks beautifully risen and the kitchen is filled with the aroma of chocolate and sweet potatoes. After 35 minutes, our babka chocolate bread is ready. It's fully baked. After baking, allow the bread to cool in the pan for a few minutes. This will make it easier to handle and prevent the bottom from sticking. Once it's cool, carefully invert the mold onto a wire rack. The bread should slide out easily. If it's still sticking, try tapping the bottom of the mold gently. I love this loaf tin and mold. You can find the description box of my tool and description that I got from Amazon. Let's review what's inside from a
second. I'm going to taste now this chocolatey bread.
Oh, chocolatey bread.
Wow, but there's nothing.
It's plain bread. This is sweet potato, chocolate, and pandan flavor.
But is it not tasty?
You try.
I can't see any over there. But it's no taste, that one. Because it's too small.
And the top part is chocolate. How many times up?
I can't count it. I like 40 and 44. I know my channel because I like 14 and 44.
My channel or your channel?
My channel.
Now it's time to reveal the magic inside. Use a serrated knife to slice the babka. The moment you cut through, you'll see the beautiful layers created by the twisted dough and chocolate spread on top. The outer crust has a slight crispiness, while the inside stays moist and pillowy. Each bite is wonderfully soft, and the layers of dough pull apart beautifully, showing how well the dough has risen and developed. The hint of Pane adds a unique flavor that's both fragrant and comforting. Let's recap my recipe, or you can go hankery.com for a print out recipe. Why not check out my next recipe, which is easy bacon onion bread. Don't miss out on more amazing recipes like this. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you're always the first to know when we upload new videos.